somebody tell me what kind of a world we live in where a man dressed up as a bat gets all of my press? This town needs an enema.
So, if you know, I guess where I'm trying to stumble over and get over and get through is, you know, for practical processes, just as a way to operate. You know, I've got notices coming to me on a regular basis for multiple years. And I guess in order to act honorably with those notices, which I can't fall just silent on, because that sort of allows them to establish their position. I have to be responsive in some way. I'm not called down to court. I'm not at a situation now. I don't have that.
Well, you just go down, whoever's sending you, go down to your local IRS office. Just go down to your local IRS office and go, hey, man, I'm here for this matter to correct a mistake. Why am I, how am I liable for that name?
Yeah, giving an agent first-hand knowledge. You can memorialize it on a piece of paper and read it right off to them.
Yeah.
And say, here, you need to contact me. I'll be glad to help you any way I can.
Yeah, you can write it up on a notice if you're really into the paperwork. I mean, you write it all down on a notice, go down there and read it right to them, and go, I'm gonna leave this for you so you can look it over. In case you miss something.
Just remember, in the matter of the name.
Yep.
That's all.
You're not there as a name. You're only here for that matter.
You're there to help. You're there to help your brother settle. He's got a problem now. There's a controversy allegedly there. Somebody's claiming a name, as far as he's concerned, and it's his job to sort it out. And help him do it. Tell him the truth. Truth will set you free.
And that's the truth.
The way I see it, anyway.
That's the ultimate truth.
So really, what to me you're instructing and informing me of is that in order to operate, to move myself beyond that appears that I am, and it may be of the appearance, might be my mind. The lien they placed on me isn't. It interferes with my commerce.
The lien is on the name because there's a controversy there. They can't settle the matter until they figure out whether you got a true claim to the name or not.
Yeah.
So point out that, hey, in the matter of, how can I help you settle this matter? You see? And now, once you point out that you don't have a claim on the name, they'll be able to zero the account.
Yep.
The lien should go away.
It may take a little while for them to do it, but they'll do it.
Or they'll threaten me with some form of judicial action, and or threaten me with competence as being somebody who may need to be undergo some psychological scrutiny.
Have you been listening to Boris?
I have.
Yeah, I mean, I've been, in my case, they went immediately to the incompetence route and started doing a psychiatrist. And I would take their orders. I would go down and see the psychiatrist, and I'd ask them, what's this about? And he goes, I don't know. I go, well, do you have a claim? He's like, no, but I got to report back. I was like, well, if you don't have a claim, what am I doing here? I would leave. And they kept on putting. The public defenders were resigning over what I was doing. They were leaving. I think I went through 6 or 7 of them. I went through 4 or 5 shrinks. I never talked to any one of them. And then they finally got one at the very, very, very beginning of everything before I really knew what I was doing. Who I did something that I probably shouldn't have. I filled out all this paperwork and can't make that legal determination. And they used that one to go on. I know they did because I remember speaking to them. And they went down that road. And then when they started enforcing it, that's when I started going, okay, well, how does this apply to me? And they couldn't get around it. They had people coming out here once a week, and they just couldn't do anything. I would beat them at the door going, how can I help you? And I say, we have this, and I look at it, and I go, why don't you give it to the guy who created the liability? I mean, I went in there, I just asked the question, and I kept on it, and kept on it, and kept on it, and the judge agrees that I was told at the last meeting I had that when it came to my case, they would have my case sitting in a desk drawer somewhere. And then when it comes about a week or two before my case, they would bring it out, and they had no idea what they were going to do with it. And they would go into panic mode. And this is what I was being told by the public defender and everything. I was like, wow. I didn't know it was that bad for him. And then the judge, the forensic guy also told me the judge said that he also agrees that I don't need to help. I don't need to go into mental this and that. And, there's all kinds of things that they were doing to protect me. And you may have to play a part as long as you don't become the part. So I had to go. I went in there the last time I went in there was so I could help them save face by it not looking improprietary. So they had someone who was following an order, someone doing this, and they could do all their duties and this and that in public, put on their show, so the public didn't look like anything was wrong, so they can keep up the illusions, so that the rest of the people don't know what's going on. You have to do your part. You just can't go in there and run around. I mean, you're the king, so you got to protect your servants. And then part of protecting your servants means sometimes you have to play the part of a commoner. And if I have to play the part of a commoner, but they know and I know that I'm not the commoner, I'm the king. But sometimes you have to lower yourself and humble yourself to do what is necessary to settle the matter. Not everything that everybody sees is evil and mean. It's just their mind is so caught up in hey man, somebody's up trying to fuck me, that they fight everything, and it's not about fighting. It's about appearances. It's about illusions. It's the image, the imagination, man. We're in the imagination. It's image nation. It's the image of what's going on. It's the illusions. That's all they care about. They just have to keep the integrity of the system alive, and the system is designed for one thing: to weed out those who know from those who don't know. And those who don't know will be governed, and those who do know will not be governed.
They'll govern themselves.
Because they can govern themselves, and they know that the people who understand what's going on will not be out there raping and pillaging the countryside, because they understand that everything is about forgiveness and it's all been prepaid. So why would you need to go out and rape and pillage the countryside when you can get anything you want or need whenever it is you need it? They wouldn't have to worry about you. It's those people who don't know what's going on that they worry about.
The paper terrorists.
Yeah. People out there, people out there just don't know, don't understand, don't see, and no matter how much you try to explain it to them, they just don't care. It's basically, I think a lot of it, they just don't care.
Well, they've been wronged, and they want vengeance.
Yeah. And now they see it, now they're like, well, now they got an enemy, and their mind created an enemy for them that's external, so they don't have to look internally and see how ugly they are. In this country, man, we have a huge problem with internal ugliness. Actually, in a lot of the world, there's a problem with internal ugliness. And no matter how much Botox people inject into their fucking face, no much silicone they stuff themselves with, will ever fix the fact that they hate themselves when they look in the mirror. And truthfully, I think that's what did Michael in Jackson. He was trying to change his outward appearance so he'd feel right on the inside, because something was happening on behind the scenes. He did not like what he saw on the inside, so he decided to change the outside to see if that would fix it, and it did. And a lot of women go through that too.
Yeah.
And a lot of men now, a lot of men are starting to go through that too themselves. They're all confused and lost because when they look in that mirror, they hate what they see. That's why they lash out. That's why they lash out at their spouses. That's why they go beat their children. Because when they look in that mirror, they don't like what they see. And so they have to, so they manifest enemies on the outside to protect them on the inside. And it's their egos that are doing it to them. And they don't see it. They can't see it because their ego says, well, this is your enemy. This is what's causing it. Something else other than themselves. Anything other than yourself. As long as once you come to the realization and accept the fact that you are the problem, man, the love you feel for yourself will increase exponentially. And when it starts increasing exponentially inside of you, it starts increasing exponentially outside of you with your relations with other people.
You get what you put out.
That's right. And it all starts with you. You're the energy. It's either positive or negative. If you want negative energy inside of you, then get ready for negative energy to come outside, from outside. But if you fill yourself with light and love, then there's no way in hell, there's no possible way it can ever return in any other form than light and love. It's impossible. Love will never return hate. Only hate returns hate. It's a law of attraction. Yeah, but that's why we have the problems we have, man. People hate themselves. That's why people do drugs. That's why they do cocaine. That's why they do heroin. That's why they do, that's why they're out, hitting everybody, getting into fights, doing that. It's just that. And then they look in the mirror, but they don't see the problem. They only see manifestations of the external. Everything else is the problem. And they're lashing out. That's what a child does. He lashes out when he doesn't realize that he's his problem. I see it every day over at my buddy's house with his kid. His kid is just, a spoiler, right? He doesn't look inside himself. He thinks everybody else is out to get him. He doesn't see that he's his own worst enemy. So he just exponentially created a new problem because of his anger towards himself. And you see it everywhere. All you have to do is get beyond your own problem of not seeing that you're the problem, and you're also the solution. You're not only you're the Alpha and the Omega. You're God of your own life. That's the biggest secret of the Bible. God is not external; He's internal. And then once you start getting it internalized, then your external actions become the message. And the problem with a lot of people is they want to worship the messenger. And I'm like, that's why you're not supposed to use that name as personal identification, because it's deification and false idol worship of you. Christians are all screwed. And people are so far away from the teachings of Christ, it's unbelievable. I'm still trying to figure out how they even participate in a society that condones murder, either through abortion or death penalties, or war, incessant war. People go out and volunteer for that shit. War would never be fought if nobody ever volunteered. A gun does not shoot itself. It requires some external force on it, and you're the external force.
I am following what you're saying, and I'm not in disagreement with you at all. I believe that when you talk about Christianity, I don't have I have problems with Christianity because of the nature of the way people actually act.
Right.
What they do and what they're saying, I guess, or thinking don't line up. But maybe I'm one of those people. Is there a fundamental, belief set that you have that, are you like you said that, that the whole, how do you, in a sense, when you're living, are you just living being that will be here and will be gone? No afterlife? No.
Nah, man, dude. The body's a mere vessel for the soul. You're just experiencing this dimensional life. When this body decays and decomposes and dies and ceases to function, the spirit within inside of it doesn't die. I'll go on elsewhere. I don't know where I'm going to go after that, but whatever it is, the body itself will release the spirit. And then you're free to go on to experience the next thing. You're just here to experience it.
So
you're not here to become part of it. You're just here to experience it. If you've seen Star Trek, you've seen Star Trek, right? The show, the Next Generation, stuff like that. You've seen the holodecks, where they have these rooms they go into for holographic things. That's what we are. We're living in a holodeck. You're not part of it. You're just in it. You do experience it. I guess they can call it the holographic universe or whatever they want to do with it, but basically that's what you are. You're just in this world to experience it. not to become part of it. You're not supposed to interfere with the way it goes on, because then you'll become part of it, and then all the safety parameters are removed.
So we're all just part of one big, huge energy process?
I don't know about that. I don't know that much. All I know is I'm part of something else, because I'm not whole on myself. I don't know the whole. I don't know everything. If I knew everything, I would be God. I'm not him or her or whatever it is. I'm only a part of it, and I'm just here experiencing the creation. In other words, living the dream. And I'm sure that whatever was designed for the people, or whatever was designed, it's just you're just experiencing it. You're not part of it. It can't hurt you. You can only believe it hurts you.
What would be the purpose
Of what?
of your life?
Education.
Yeah. It's the only thing I can take with me. Whatever experiences I go through is the only thing that's going to come with me, are my experiences.
The choices we make.
Yep.
Shows others the fruits.
Yep.
What side we're on.
Well, do you like, in a sense, if the words are correct, and we understand them the same, do you fear God?
Why do I fear him? He's a teacher.
Well, then you respect God?
Sure. He's all around you. He's within you. He's without you. You are part of him. Why do you fear what you're part of? I've never understood the God-fearing thing, but, hey, if you want to fear God, you go ahead and you fear him all on your own, man. I embrace him. I embrace creation. Because if it wasn't for creation, I sure as shit wouldn't be here.
Well, I agree with that, and there's some fundamental maybe beliefs that I have that are not the same as yours, and maybe it's senseless reasoning, but I don't claim to have any kind of real understanding. But there are some confrontations in history as I understand it. For instance, like who was Jesus and what was he doing here?
Okay, well, yeah, I'm gonna kind of answer that right now. Is the reason there's confrontations over that is because people worship the messenger and don't live the message. They turned him into an idol and they worship him. And in doing so, you fail to live the message he was here preaching, or he was here proselytizing or spreading around. Same thing with Muhammad. Same thing with Buddha and Hindu and Vishnu and whatever Japanese gods there are and whatever Egyptian gods there are and all that stuff. They're not living the message. They're worshiping the messenger.
It's like the story about Moses. Allegedly, Moses was taken away so they wouldn't idolize him.
Right. Even Judaism does it. They worship Moses. All these religions are guilty of it. They're idol worshippers. They don't want to live they don't live the message. They worship the messenger, and that's not what he was here for. He was here to deliver a message, not be worshipped as some deity or prophet or nothing like that. He spoke in the Bible is written in parables, so only the righteous would understand. Everybody else is going to war because somebody called their god, their deity, their idol, threw an egg at him, put egg on his face. That's what they're doing right now in the Middle East. That's what the Crusades were. Our God is better than your God. Jesus is the Savior. No, Muhammad's the Savior. No, this guy's the Savior. No, this one's the Savior. Well, fuck you. No, fuck you. Bang, 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 and suddenly everybody blows each other up. That's how it escalates. They worship the messenger and idolize him and put him on this huge pedestal, but they forget the message. It's hypocrisy. And however many millions of people out there are doing it are all living the delusions.
I will send them strong delusions because they have not a love of the truth.
That's right.
And there's no division in the body. So why do we got all these Democrats, Republicans, Protestants, Buddhists?
Yep.
There's no division in the body. So why lay claim to a name of a group?
Yep.
That's division. You're in dishonor.
Right. And Buddha may have taught this, but there's no need to worship Buddha. You don't pray before Buddha.
And if you do any research on all the different religions, you're going to find they have one common thread. Treat others as you want to be treated.
Yep.
So what's the problem?
Yep. Every single one of them have the same message. They're all the same. It's just the people have divided it up, and so now they fractionalized it. They took a golden, they took the crystal chalice, threw it on the ground, and worshipped the splinters, while they failed to drink the contents. You know, I equated it, if you find a message in a bottle, do you marvel at the bottle?
Well, that would probably be where my fundamental mindset is more, I guess, accustomed to. You know, do you pray?
Do I pray? I thank creation for giving me what I have, and embrace it, and then acknowledge my faults and hope that I may fix them or overcome them, because I know that it's all intelligently designed, and then everything evolves to adapt and overcome all obstacles thrown in their path. That's the only place evolution comes in, is the living of the intelligent design is created, and then from there on out it evolves to adapt and overcome all obstacles thrown in its path.
Yeah, and I'm not really interested in that. I'm trying to clarify it for me, I guess, because I'm trying to understand your thinking.
Okay.
Because, would that mean that you are actually a part of God?
Everything is.
It's all good, man.
I believe there's an ultimate creator. So I guess if you have to put it in a context, what is it, that word deist? Means one God? Is that what it is, Batman? The deist?
Well, it's in a sense, it's one creation. We're all part of it, whether we like it or not. We're all brothers and sisters. We're all part. Some people believe that everything that exists is living. Even a rock is a living thing.
Yeah.
You see, everything is in motion, and we're all part of it.
Yep.
The molecules in the rock vibrate. I mean, even like it said in the scriptures. The truth, even the rocks would scream out the truth if Christ didn't come and supposedly say it.
Yep.
The truth is all around us. It's part of us. We don't listen to the little voice, our hearts, and we let the ego, our minds, the logic part, like Spock, we go by the logic instead of the little voice in our hearts telling us the right things, and that's why we get in trouble.
Yeah. Oh, you in a sense, you draw a line. In a sense, aren't you? You're drawing a line of some kind.
Well, either
delineates between one side.
No, not really a line.
We're eliminating the lines by saying there is no division in the body. We're all part of the whole. Look at the planet from the shuttlecraft pictures. There's no borders. There's no boundaries. The only boundaries are in man's imagination. There is no United States. There is no America unless you believe there is. I live in the state of Batman. Good. Try and get jurisdiction over that.
Yeah, there's no such thing as an illegal alien.
Yeah. We're all on this planet together, man.
That's just a division to keep one group away from another group.
If you studied the Old Testament, the reason why nations fell is because how they treated the soldiers, the people immigrating into the country. This country's going down if it keeps treating the so-called illegals the way it's treating them.
Yep.
They will rule you. No, you love them and invite them.
And he will send hordes of barbarians upon you.
You love them and treat them with open arms and stay in honor with these people. You're not going to have problems with these people. They'll change.
Yeah.
You get what you put out. Look at these people yelling and screaming. They're over here taking our stuff. They're taking our Social Security. They're taking
our jobs.
Yeah.
They took our verb.
Yeah.
I love that South Park episode, man.
Yeah. You don't own anything in the first place, so what are you bitching about?
Yeah.
Jeez,
Why are you excluding others from what you want from your area? Nobody ever said that anybody was excluded. We're all included. We're all part of it. How can you exclude that? I mean, you're out there trying to create your own little compartmentalization inside of creation, and and eventually it's going to reject it, and then it's going to shave the head, which is basically like Britney Spears. She's going to shave her head when you can't handle it no more. And that's what's going on now. Is right now the Earth's getting ready to shake its back off and go, oh man, what are these guys doing to me? Shake us off like a bad case of fleas. If we don't stop doing what we're doing. I mean, we're out there rape, pillaging, and plundering each other. We're rape, pillaging, and plundering creation. I mean, for what? Greedy desires? It's not what we're here for. We're here to experience it and enjoy it. I mean, creation made a very beautiful planet. Why do we need to divvy it up? Like this one article I read the other day, they're fighting over the Nile River now. Is Egypt and all those countries that border the Nile River all fighting over it? Over who owns it? I'm like, nobody. And the only thing I can say is, why claim ownership? Unless the only reason you would claim ownership is try to obtain leverage over someone else to make them bow before you.
Yeah, why buy the cow when you get the milk for free?
Yeah, the Nile's just the Nile, man. It gets there. It's just there. It exists. It exists for everybody to use. Just because you live on a river doesn't mean you get to exclude others from it. I tried to explain this to guys at work when they went on a river rafting thing, and they said, we can't get to the river. I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, these guys build houses there. I'm like, so? He goes, well, they'll shoot you if you try and cross their property and get the river. I was like, who entitled them to do that to, prevent you from using one of nature's resources?
Rivers are a right-of-way, man. Nobody's got any right to stop you from going to them.
Yeah, I don't care how much land they put up there. I don't care what they do. You have a right to access the river. At any point along the river. They have no right to do that. And I tried to explain that to these guys at work. I asked them questions. They're like, well, they'll shoot me if I do this. So I go, well, so you consented that they have the right to deny you access.
Will they?
Well, that's what they kept on saying.
And
I just informed them that in your thinking, you just consented that they have the right to deny you use of one of nature's resources.
They're already defeated before they attempted it.
That's right, because they've already thought that, well, this bad thing is going to happen if I do it. Well, you don't know that, and I understand what they're saying.
Well, two people can't inhabit the same space physically.
True, but how can you inhabit the whole of the land? I can only have it where I stand.
Correct.
I go through another spot. If I'm standing at one spot and someone goes to another spot, how can I inhabit that spot that they're going through when I'm already inhabiting one other spot?
Unless you bump into each other.
Okay.
You're both trying to inhabit the same spot.
Where the forgiveness comes in.
That's where the golden rule comes in.
Yeah.
Have it spot, man. There's plenty of room over here. No problem.
Yeah, if you really need that spot, I'll go over here and stand on that spot. That's what forgiveness is.
Well, that would be the practical.
Right, but forgiveness is a weapon for which there is no defense. Nobody can defend against forgiveness because there's nothing to defend.
You ever watch The Peaceful Warrior?
That's a good one.
I don't think so.
You get a chance. It's a movie. Nick Nolte's
I don't think
in
so.
it. Nick Nolte's in it. Peaceful
It's
Warrior.
a really good movie.
I don't think I've ever watched it.
I think you'd enjoy it.
So I will.
Might open up your eyes a little more,
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, there's no need to stop people from doing. I mean, everybody out there who denies you something because you don't show proper this or proper that, what are they really doing? They're cordoning you off from experiencing that which creation made, and who they have the right to do.
Yeah, so everybody's arguing over
whatever they're trying to do. But the second you agree that they can do that, they have power over you, and it doesn't matter if they have 1,000,000 guns. One act of love trumps 1,000,000 guns.